Yes, I chopped off all my hair since my last YouTube video, which was my brush set announcement video. It's getting hotter outside. I just wanted to go back to my short hair with the shaved sides, and honestly, it feels so freaking good. I really did like playing with my naturally curly hair and the curly bangs. I thought that was really fun for a minute, but honestly, it was kind of just like a pain in the ass to work with, and like when I'm doing my makeup, like they're in my face, they're in the way. And honestly, I like my face, so I like that I can see my face, my cheekbones, my entire bone structure now. But let me tell you what the plan is today, because we're gonna be playing with some eyeshadow. I'm filming this video on June 7th. June 10th is my 29th birthday. We'll get into more details about my birthday, but I bought myself a cute little birthday cake. It is freaking adorable. I'll post a little picture video right here. And I bought this cake because I wanted to do like a little birthday photo shoot just with myself, for myself kind of thing. And so I got this cake from a woman-owned little cake business here in Portland. And for the color inspiration, I kind of just sent her my eyeshadow palette. I was like, you kind of have creative freedom, but like, you know, based off of these colors, kinda. And I'm really happy with how the cake turned out. I think it's super cute. I love all the colors. There's also like glitter on it too, so it's kind of sparkly. But today I want to do a bold, colorful, glam makeup look inspired by the colors of the cake, so I'll have that fun makeup on for my birthday cake photo shoot. It's so random, but I'm just trying to like do something for myself, you know? So looking at the picture of the cake, there really is like a purple base to it, which I really like. Obviously, I love purple, so I think I want my eyeshadow look to be mainly purple. So I know I'm gonna go into my palette because I do want to use the shade at 2015 for sure. But then I also want to be just kind of fun and creative today and dip into some other palettes. So for some more kind of purpley shades, I grabbed Natasha Denona Roxa just because, you know, there's a couple good like blending purpley shades in here. I also really love this one. This will be a good matte shade to use today. So I'm envisioning like the base of the look to be purple, but then I want to do like a pop of like turquoise teal on the center of my lid and make it very intense. So I grabbed out this palette of Oden's eye singles that I still have not even dipped into yet. So I'm sure there's going to be a shade either in there or in this little one that will, I think, work for this look. For my eye brushes today, of course, I'm going to be using my new Sigma eye brush set that is available now. I'm just so excited that I just get to sit here, play with makeup, do something fun and colorful, and use my new collaboration. I'm going to start by priming my eyes with the Rare Beauty eyeshadow primer. This is my favorite eyeshadow primer. I've gone through so many tubes of it at this point. And then taking my AB1 base brush to blend out the primer. And then just setting that primer with the translucent powder. I'm using the Huda Beauty one. I'm going to take this single purple from Oden's Eye. It's V008. And I'm taking that on my crease brush. Ooh, that looks intense. Okay, and I kind of want to just lay this along my entire crease. I'm really excited to be doing this little birthday photo shoot just for myself. It's really random and like I've never really done anything like this before. And do I even know how to be a photographer and like take my own pictures while I'm trying to hold a cake, because I want to make it kind of like artsy and edgy looking. Like I have a vision in my head, but I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to make my vision come to life, but I'm gonna try my best. This shade is absolutely stunning. Wow. But I really wanted to do this for myself because, to be so straight up with you guys, like this is probably one of the loneliest birthdays I've had in my life to date. And so because I feel like I don't have a lot of people I can spend my time with, I was like, let me just do this for myself and just make it fun, get a fancy cake with whatever flavor I want, whatever colors I want on it, and just do it for me. I don't want to be like super depressing with you guys, but I also want to be just straight up with you about how I'm feeling and how life is going right now. And it's pretty rough right now. And I think what I've come to realize, you know, especially after my breakup happened in December, so it's like I'm 7 months post breakup now, which is absolutely crazy. And it still feels like I'm going through it some days. Like not the actual breakup part, but just the loneliness that comes with the breakup, you know, when you lose that person. And for me, it's really hard to make friends because one, I'm self-employed. I sit at home alone and film videos and talk to a camera for a job. So it's like I don't have coworkers. I don't really have people to talk to. And I just don't really have any friends in this area. I've definitely tried to make friends. I had 2 kind of close girlfriends for a second, but then it just kind of completely fell through, like shit hit the fan and it just didn't work out. out. And a lot of that has to do with where I live right now. And again, I'm currently renting on my parents' property out in Boring, Oregon. So it's like literally the middle of nowhere. There's not a lot of places to go, not a lot of people to see. I have lived here for I think 4 years now, and I think I'm ready to move, which is kind of crazy to say because I have a beautiful setup here. Like, it has been really nice living at my parents' property. Like, there's so much space for me, so much space for Rue, but when it comes down to it, like, I have to be so honest with myself, and like, I'm not happy here. I'm still just building up this shade on my eyes while I tell you all my problems. And it's just such a strange feeling, like, knowing that this big change is gonna happen pretty soon. And honestly, I do think part of it could be my Saturn's return. I'm not like a huge astrology girly, but like, I'm kind of into it. I like hearing about things here and there. My hairdresser was telling me about your Saturn return that happens like when you're between like 27 and 30 years old, where it's like a period of a lot of growth and change pretty much. And that's exactly what it feels like right now. Like, I can just feel myself. I am in the thick of it, and a lot of days are hard for me right now, but I also know that like there's another side to this, and I do think that having all this alone time to myself was so necessary for my healing from, you know, so many different things. And while I have been just like mentally going through a hard time right now, I also really believe and I know like there's another side of this. Like, there's a side where I come out on top. And for me in my life, I do believe that things happen for a reason and there's a lesson learned in everything. And even though like this alone time is really hard right now, I do think it is absolutely necessary for myself. So while it can suck, I'm also just trying to embrace it and just remind myself like this is not forever. I'm not gonna feel this way forever, and things will get better. Okay, this is such a gorgeous matte purple shade. I'm not making it absolutely perfect right now just because I'm gonna be layering a lot more shades on top of it and around it, so it doesn't need to be like flawless. I'm trying to pay more attention to the shape I have on both eyes because my shapes can get very different very quickly. Same brush, I'm gonna go into the Roxa palette and pick up Sweet Pea, and I'm gonna use that to start to soften out these edges of that first purple. So it is just strange being at this point in life where it's like I know I'm unhappy and I know I need to change things, and just knowing that all of this change is gonna come very soon. It's a little scary, but also kind of freeing and very exciting at the same time. So like I said, I do think I'm gonna be moving sometime soon. Honestly, I would like it to be this year. I'm thinking maybe fall. I definitely still have a lot I need to figure out, but it's like I know that I'm moving. Does that make sense? And I'm really not 100% sure on where. I kind of think I want to start over in a whole new state though, a whole new city, and low-key just start my life over at 29 years old. Is that crazy? Yes, but I know that so many people have done this before, and it kind of just feels like the right move for me. I remember when I first posted my breakup announcement video here on YouTube, like I had to tell you guys what was going on, you know? I had some people in the comments saying like, Angela, move to a new city, start over, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, like that would be terrible. Why would I leave the setup I have now? But now that quite a bit of time has passed, you know, I've sat with myself and my feelings, I'm like, oh, this kind of does feel like the right next move for me. And again, this feeling as well, like knowing I'm gonna move sometime soon, probably start over in a new city, like that is absolutely terrifying, but also super exciting at the same time. Lots of mixed feelings going on over here. This blend in my crease up here is looking so good. That Sweet Pea shade works perfectly with that purple from Oden's eye. I do have a few cities in mind for myself, but honestly, I'm not really ready to share that just yet. I think I'll share it once I'm pretty fucking sure on my decision, but I can tell you for sure it's not going to be like California or New York. Like that's a little too crazy for me. And if you've been here for a while, you might be like, Angela, wait, didn't you and your ex move to Texas back in 2021 and then you moved back within 6 months? Yes, we did. But here's where I think that move kind of went wrong. Honestly, looking back, should we have done it? Probably not, but it happened. Let me tell you what I learned from that experience. When him and I moved to Texas, we were both just excited to get out of Oregon and just to like try somewhere new. We wanted a cheaper cost of living, and that's what we got in Texas. But I think what him and I failed to do is that like him and I were so happy in our own little bubble. Like we loved spending so much time together. Like any errand activity we need to do, like we're doing it together. And so because of that, I think him and I were just kind of happy in our own little bubble together in this new place. And we really didn't make any effort to go out and meet new people or make friends or join communities or something like that. Like it was just me and him and Rue. And that is the first thing I would do completely differently if and when I move again to a new city. I am definitely going to be joining groups, finding activities to do, finding communities of people that I want to be around. So that's what I know would be completely different this time when I move. And it would just be me. It's just me and Rue. Like how fun is that? Two girlies in a new city discovering new things. I think it sounds fun. I'm gonna go back to the Oden's Eye Purple and just kind of re-tap this on the outer part of my lid. And I've still been using this one brush for the entire look. Again, this is the brush that's kind of inspired by the Sigma E25, which is one of my favorite brush shapes ever because I feel like you can do so many different things with it. Like I have laid down all this color and done all of this blending with just one brush. It's amazing. I would love to know if any of you have ever moved to a whole new city and started over, especially if you did it on your own by yourself. Like I would love to hear your experience so much. I would really appreciate it, honestly. Like I know that people do it all the time, but I don't really know anyone in my life that has ever really done it, especially at my age as like a single person, you know. Going back in with more sweet pea and just making sure I really have this inner area blended. This is looking so cool so far though. Like I'm so happy with these shades. I honestly wasn't even really planning on telling you guys all of this today, but you know, we're here talking about my 29th birthday, and this is what's really been on my mind this like last month and a half or so. Oh, because what I'm kind of thinking to myself, like I said, like this 29th birthday is going to be a pretty lonely birthday for me, but I want my 30th birthday to be so much better than this. Or I just want to be in a better space mentally by my next birthday. Now I'm going to grab my NYX glitter primer. Just have a little bit of that on my finger, and I'm going to tap this kind of on this blank part of my lid. Also, do you guys like my nails? Maybe this is kind of inspiring my look too. These are press-on nails. It was from a collab with Olive and June and Bubble, the skincare brand. And I think these look so freaking cool. They're like kind of chromy and just shifty. Like I love shifty colors. Now I'm gonna go into my palette with Sigma, and I'm gonna pick up 2015 on my shader brush. And this is gonna go on that entire blank part of my lid where I put that glitter primer. Okay, the shade is actually really close to that Oden's Eye Purple, but I think this looks really cool because it does have a bit of shimmer to it. I'm gonna make sure my entire eyelid has this 2015 shade on it. Okay, that looks good, nice and opaque. And then pop in the glitter primer on the other eye. You really only need a tiny amount of this stuff. Again, I'm using the flat side of my shader brush, really loading it up with this shade and just packing that on my lid. So yeah, the plan today is do my little birthday photo shoot 3 days before my actual birthday. And then on my birthday, on the 10th, I am going out to dinner with my family. Everyone can make it, so that'll be really nice. I'm super excited to see my nieces. My 1-year-old niece is starting to talk a little bit, and I haven't seen her talk in person yet. Like I've seen little videos here and there, but like I want to experience it for myself. And I swear this 1-year-old baby loves me. Whenever I go to my sister's house, she just like comes crawling up to me, puts her arms up for me to pick her up, and she's just like so chill in my arms. And my sister says that she's not like that with anyone else, so that just makes me feel like so special as an auntie. All right, so I have that 2015 shade packed all over, but I do want to blend a little bit more in this inner corner crease area. It's looking just a little bit harsh, so a good thing I have a handy dandy small blending brush in my brush set. And I'm taking that lighter shade Sweet Pea from the Natasha Denona palette and just really making sure I get in this little inner area. Obviously, I love my nieces to death, and I think that would be the hardest part for me about moving away is just not getting to see them as often as I would like. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I really have to put myself and my feelings first. Okay, so you can see how it looks a little bit more blended on this side compared to this one. So let me just even that out. I do want to deepen up the outer corner of my eye a little bit before I add my fun pop of turquoise. Okay, so going back to my Oden's Eye singles, I'm going to take the shade Elsa, and I have that on the tip of my small blending brush. I'm just going to lightly stamp this on the outer corner of my eye. And I think this blue shade will be perfect because there is a little bit of blue base in my cake. PDX from my palette might work for this, but I think it's a little bit too teal for what I want. This blue shade from Oden's Eye has a lot more of like a navy base to it. And again, this brush is so nice and small, so it fits perfectly on this very small outer corner of my eye. I'm always trying to look straight into my mirror to make sure both eyes are even, and they're never going to be perfect on me. This is the side that I struggle with more because it's just a little bit droopier, so I'm not going to fuss too much. Let me just lightly soften this out with my crease brush, and I did not pick up any additional product on it, but there's definitely some purple left over. I'm not exactly sure which shade I want to pop on the center of my lid, so let me swatch a few shades really quick. Look at these shades. They are so shifty. I think the shade I want to use is Jade, which is this one right here. Like, this just looks almost wet on the eye. I see so many different colors in it. I think it'll be super fun. I think I need to try it on my finger. Whoa. Not see teal when you see this shadow? Look how pink that is. I mean, that's like really pretty. It's just not what I wanted. Well, I'm gonna keep going. That looks pretty sick though, in a fantastic way. That is so cool. Okay, I really hope this shade will like photograph well. And you can see I'm trying to focus this on the center of my eyelid. Yeah, this is not what I envisioned, but I think it looks so cool. I think it probably depends on what shade you have underneath this to see what's gonna show up, because like in the swatch, don't you see green? Look at that. It shifts to green right there. Just not on top of purple, which I guess it's fine. I can work with it. I'm having so much fun playing with shadow today. Okay, but what about my pop of teal that I wanted to do? I could probably do like in the inner corner. I'm so conflicted on whether or not to try to add another shimmer to make it a little bit more green, to add that pop of green that I wanted, but this looks so cool on its own. But I wanted green. Let me try. See, this looks greenish, right? This is Logan from Oden's Eye, which is this swatch right here. So look at that. Shifts to green, but there's also just a bunch of different colors in there too. I'm gonna try a tiny bit on my shader brush because I don't want to pick up a lot, but maybe just a hint. Where am I putting this? I don't know. I'm not really putting this in the center. I'm kind of putting it more on like the 3/4 part of my eye. Okay, how are we looking? Okay, I think it added a touch of green there, and I think I'm gonna stop there with that because I don't want to overdo it because I do really like how this looks so far. But let me just do the other eye really quick. I do have a bit of fallout down here. I think most of it's from the 2015 shade, but that's okay. I only have my foundation on right now, so I'm gonna clean this area up and then do my under eye concealer. I have been loving having the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer back in my life. I haven't used this one in years, but ever since I got it in PR a couple weeks ago, I just keep grabbing for it. And this shade is Creme Brulee. And then going back to my AB1 base brush, I use this to blend out my under eye concealer because it just fits so perfectly in this area. And then taking my Huda Beauty powder on my sponge, I'm gonna set my under eye. Now my under eyes are ready for shadow, and I'm pretty much just gonna use the same shades that I put in my crease on my lower lash line. Starting with my small blending brush and that matte purple from Oden's Eye. I'm gonna blend this along the entire lower lash line. There definitely is still some of that deeper blue shade left over on this brush, but that's okay. I was probably gonna add it anyways. Same brush, going back to Sweet Pea from Natasha Denona, and using that to soften the edges of the purple. Okay, quick little before and after just to show you that difference that blending with Sweet Pea made. On this eye, it just kind of looks like the shadows just blend into my skin, where on this side you can just see all of the harshness. So that's why we blend the edges with lighter shadows. I do also know that I want black all around my lash line. I want to make this smoky, smudgy, and sexy. So let's do that. I'm going to take my Makeup Forever liner in whatever black and just run that along my waterline, my tight line, pretty much everywhere. I do want a black matte shadow to smudge along my lower lash line. So I'm just gonna take this one from Patrick Ta on my small detail brush. And this brush is absolutely perfect for this. It is so nice and small so it can get super close to the lash line and be super precise. I'm also going to bring that black along my top lash line as well. I like to get all the way in this inner corner of my top lash line as well. This is why I love adding a black shadow to the lower lash line. I just love how smoky that looks. So again, a little before and after. You can kind of see right here, there's a little bit of a harshness with the black, so I'll just go back to my small blending brush, nothing on it, and just kind of run right along that line. Even add a little bit more of the purple if I need to. This look is coming together so well. I want to try another intense shimmer for my inner corner, and I like to use this brush for that, but it's now covered in black, so I'm going to show you what I do to clean this off. Normally I'll just use my Sigma switch, but because I'm switching from a literal black shadow to like a super light shade, I've been using this mini daily brush spray. I've seen a lot of brands carry this. This one is from Sephora. I always just keep like a dirty makeup towel on me when I'm doing my makeup, always, and I'll spray this onto my towel. It smells like oranges. And then you just kind of rub off the brush and all of that shadow is gonna come off. You can spray the brush directly, but I find that the spray is like really slippery. If it gets on my floor, like I am literally slipping around the place, but look at that, nice and clean now. It's not perfectly white, but there's no more black shadow on it. I wanna try this shade from Oden's Eye. It's called Sif. Let's see what that does on the inner corner. Nice and reflective. And this shade is super light, but it does have just like the tiniest bit of green in it, which I'm gonna work with today. I wanted my look to be a little bit more teal, but I just couldn't really find a shade that I had in mind, I guess. That's okay. There is that. I think I want to add a little bit of a matte white shadow as well, because I really like how a matte white just kind of brightens the area without adding shimmer. So just going back to that Patrick Ta palette where I grabbed that matte black, I'm gonna grab this white and just kind of add a little bit of that kind of to the edges of the shimmer almost. I'm kind of using this to like blend out the edges of the shimmer. And then taking some of that matte white right under my brow. Okay, I'm feeling so good about this eye look right now. I'm gonna go finish it off with some mascara and lashes. Okay, mascara and lashes are done, and this look is so intense. So of course I had to pair my boldest lash style with this look, and for that I'm wearing the Bright Lashes Daydream. This is a very bold and fluffy lash, but I think it pairs perfectly with this look. Here are what the eyes are looking like from far away. They are so freaking intense. So I already have my base makeup done. I have my foundation, spot concealer, I did my under eyes with you, and my powder as well. But for my foundation, I have been back into loving the Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Foundation. I actually had to take this out of my everyday makeup drawer and like put it behind me in these drawers so I would stop using it so much, because I just needed to get some use out of other things. And when I self-tanned the other day, I was like, oh, I need to grab like a tan foundation. So I found this in my drawer back there and I was like, oh, perfect. And I have just been using it every day since. Like, this really is my favorite foundation. But I did just get the new Makeup by Mario powder matte bronzers in PR, and I wanted to try them out today. So this one is light, this one is light medium, and I have a tan on, so I think I want to try light medium, but I hope it's not too much. First impression, I'm just gonna go for this. I'm taking it on my Sigma F44, and let's start on the forehead here. Should I do one side at a time? Sure. I always get a little nervous about an all matte bronzer because I don't know what it is, but sometimes my forehead just looks patchy with bronzer, and it's kind of been that way like my whole life. I don't know if it's my forehead, if it's my application or what, but it's definitely a problem I've struggled with. So that's why I typically like more of like a baked bronzer or a bronzer that has a little bit of shimmer in it, because like when it's so matte like this, it really can show just any mistakes or any dryness and patchiness. But I was really excited to try this because I really like his shaping sticks, even the balmy cream bronzer, and then the kind of more luminous bronzer as well. Like honestly, I really like a lot of Mario products, so I was pumped for this. Okay, quick before and after. This has nothing on it. Did this side. It definitely looks bronzy, and I think the shade looks pretty decent. It looks kind of more golden, but I think that looks nice. Just even everything out. This is so much easier to do without my bangs in the way now. I just love having my hair completely out of my face. I'll definitely have to keep trying it out. I mean, right now it just kind of seems like a basic powder bronzer to me, like nothing is really blowing me away at this point, but it looks good. Okay, I need to find a blush that's gonna pair nicely with this intense eye look. I kind of want a color that's gonna be almost similar to like the pink reflect on my eye. Would that work? Maybe. This is Lottie London Exposed. Taking that on my Sigma F12. I probably won't do too much blush today because clearly the eyes are the focus of the look, but I definitely want a little bit of color. Yeah, I think that'll work perfectly fine. I actually really like how this looks. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. It almost looks like I applied highlighter as well, so I'm happy with that. Speaking of highlighter, I am going to apply a little bit of my bareMinerals Rose Glow highlighting blush. Just right on the tip of my cheekbone with my Sigma F03. Let's finish off with lips now. Again, I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I think I wanna go like kind of nude almost. I'm gonna start by tapping out my lips with my foundation brush. I'm gonna start with my go-to nude lip combo, starting with the Jones Road pencil in the shade Nudist. Just gonna do a little bit of lining. Then I've been taking the Jones Road lip tint. The shade is called Nude Mauve. I believe I got these two products in a little bundle. I think they sold them together because this is like the perfect combo. I've really been loving it. Pretty, but see, I think I want it a little bit more nude because again, I want the eyes just to really pop. So let's see how this works on top. Again, this is Judith. It literally looks like a concealer in a tube. Kind of right on top in the center. I'll do a little touch up with my lip pencil. If only I had a really small detail brush that's really good at blending a lip line. Oh wait, I do. Taking my small detail brush from my brush set and using that to blend. For a little gloss on top, I'm gonna use my YSL Plumping Lip Oil. The shade is 02. Just a little bit. And then finishing everything off with my current favorite setting spray. It's the new One Size Powder Melt. I lied. One more finishing step. I'm adding the tiniest bit of a clear brow gel. This is the Thrive Cosmetics one. It's not exactly what I planned in my mind because again, I thought I was gonna do teal in the center, but my teal shade turned into pink, but I still think it looks absolutely stunning. Like, I think it's so freaking cool. I feel hot with my short hair. I kind of feel like a supermodel right now, and that's why I love having the short hair and just like showing off my face. But this look was so much fun to create, and I just had such a good time kind of dipping into some different palettes today, especially these Oden's eye singles, because this was my first time using them, and I used quite a few today, and I was so impressed, especially these purple matte shades. Amazing. And of course, I just want to show you so many ways on how to use my new brush set with Sigma. I just want to say thank you for kind of hanging out with me, just chatting today, shared a little bit of personal stuff going on in my life. Yes, I'm struggling a little bit mentally, but I know better things are on their way, better things are gonna come for me, and I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for my 29th year of life. Just want to say thank you as always for the love and support, and now I'm gonna go take my photos, and I really hope this little photo shoot in my brain turns out how I want it to. So I will see you guys in the next one.